A reckless night of drinking has placed Leanne Battersby, Jane Danson, in a perilous situation on Coronation Street, one that could cost her everything. As the Platt family home goes up in flames, all eyes turn to Leanne as the prime suspect in an arson investigation that threatens to change her life forever. But did she really set the fire, or is she being framed for a crime she didn't commit? As DS Kit Green, Jacob Roberts, tightens the net around her, Leanne is faced with an uphill battle to clear her name. Leanne has been a woman on the edge for months, ever since discovering that her ex-partner Nick Tilsley, Ben Price, had rekindled his relationship with her sister, Toya Battersby, Georgia Taylor. Leanne's pain runs deep. She and Nick once had a future together, and though they drifted apart, she never expected him to betray her so deeply. Nick and Toya initially kept their rekindled romance under wraps, agreeing that Leanne had already been through enough heartbreak after her involvement with Rowan's cult, the Institute. However, their connection proved too strong to ignore, and when their secret affair came to light, Leanne was devastated. In a fit of rage, she attempted to frame Nick and Toya for fraud, an ill-conceived revenge plan that backfired spectacularly. Instead of getting the last laugh, Leanne found herself sentenced to community service, humiliated and isolated from those she once trusted. Her personal life continued to unravel when she turned to Steve MacDonald, Simon Gregson, for comfort, only to face rejection. Desperate and humiliated, Leanne drowned her sorrows in alcohol, setting the stage for the fateful night that would soon put her at the center of a criminal investigation. As Leanne spiraled into self-destruction, Weatherfield was thrown into chaos when the Platt family home erupted into flames. That same evening, Leanne had been drinking heavily, drowning in her own misery. When she saw emergency services racing to the scene, she was horrified to find Toya being pulled from the burning building. Despite her drunken state, Leanne instinctively ran to her sister's side, desperate to make sure she was safe. But before she could get too close, Nick intervened. Recognizing that she was drunk and fearing the worst, he ordered her to leave immediately. Leanne later found herself at the hospital, trying to process the traumatic events of the night. But when she reached into her coat pocket for her purse, she made a chilling discovery. She had a book of matches in her possession. The discovery of the matches sends shockwaves through Weatherfield. How did they get there? Had Leanne, in her drunken state, somehow started the fire without realizing it? Or worse, had someone planted them to make her look guilty? DS Kit Green wastes no time launching an investigation, and Leanne quickly becomes the prime suspect. Given her past attempts at revenge against Nick and Toya, the pieces begin to fit together in the minds of the police. The timing of the fire, her intoxicated state, and her volatile emotions all make her an easy target. In upcoming episodes, Kit sits down with Leanne for a formal interview. He lays out the evidence against her, her history of resentment toward Toya and Nick, her drunken outburst that same evening, and the incriminating matches found in her coat. Leanne, growing increasingly desperate, pleads her case. She admits the situation looks bad but swears she would never do something so horrific. She has no memory of starting the fire, and is adamant that she had no part in it. As Leanne struggles to prove her innocence, DS Craig Tinker, Colson Smith, delivers a surprising update toward the end of the week. Despite the overwhelming suspicion against her, Leanne has not yet been charged. New evidence has come to light, evidence that could change everything. The police are now waiting for forensic results before making any final decisions. This unexpected twist throws the case into uncertainty. If Leanne didn't start the fire, then who did? Is she being framed? And if so, by whom, with suspicion still looming over her? Leanne faces an uncertain future. If the forensic evidence fails to clear her name, she could find herself arrested and charged with arson, a crime that carries devastating consequences. As the days pass, tension mounts. Leanne is running out of time to prove her innocence, and with Weatherfield already turning against her, the odds aren't in her favor. But if she didn't start the fire, the real culprit is still out there, walking free while she takes the fall. Could Leanne be the victim of a cruel setup? Or will the evidence ultimately seal her fate? One thing is certain, the truth will come out, and when it does, it could change everything.